Hey Clear Lake peeps, Ross England here with Clear Lake Guide Service and your fishing and lake conditions report for October 14th, 2021. As you can see right now, this gives you a little idea. I'm standing approximately a mile into the lake bed from the bridge at Rodman. You can see the bridge right behind me over here. And I say it's a mile, it's plus or minus because I didn't actually measure it. That's a guess. But if you look over to my, and I'll do a spin around when this is all done, but the little island that we all know about that sits out off to the east side of the mouth of Rodman, I'm just about even with it out here. So I've got at least another several hundred yards, I don't know, maybe a quarter mile, half mile to get to the lake that way. So the thing that's interesting is when I spin this around at the end, you're going to notice there's some grass out here that's taller than I am. So right now, a lot of the stuff that's right around me is a good 4 feet tall. Some of it that's in behind and in other areas is 5 and 5.5 feet tall. So what used to be a very, very know-nothing bottom, if water ever gets up to this next winter, it ain't going to be a know-nothing bottom for long. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I really don't know what this stuff is. Honestly, some of it looks like it could even be willows. So, okay. So, the lake level. We'll talk about it first. Honestly, can't tell you what it is because whoever is responsible, U.S. Geological Survey is responsible for the measurements that are posted and also the monitoring equipment. It's bouncing all over the place. Last week we saw it down to minus 3.3. Today it's minus 2 something. A week and a half ago it was minus 1.9. I don't know what it is. So until they get it figured out, I'm really not going to talk about and give you an exact level of what the lake is because they keep adjusting it and I don't want to keep giving out bad information. Let's just say that it's lower than it was last week. That's an easy one to grasp. So, launch ramp conditions. Clear Lake Oaks is still open. There are people using both parts of it, both the launch ramp and the beach just to the east of it. There actually are still some people that are using Brados, but it's really thin in there. If you haven't been here for a while, you know that great big cabin cruiser that's parked in the marina? It's sitting on its side. Looks like this right now. So it's been on the bottom for a while. The only one that's still actually really usable is 5th Street in Lakeport. It's in good shape, although it's kind of coming to the end. You know, every time I launch, I kind of look at where the lines are marked of where the end of the ramp is, and it keeps getting closer and closer. So I have not talked to anybody who's had any problems other than with really long rigs. So something like a big pontoon boat or maybe even a 21-foot boat on a long trailer might have a little bit of an issue. I have not heard that yet. They did finalize most of the work on the parking lot at 5th Street, so that whole area, I got to give kudos to the construction crew that was doing the work. They said it was going to be done October 8th, and they were done October 8th. It looks good. The only thing that you'll notice is the parking spaces as you pull up to the 5th Street ramp to the left. They kind of shrunk them a little bit, and they're a little bit smaller than they used to be, and the purpose for that was to try to get a few more parking spaces in. I noticed that the other day when I parked there, that it was like, man, I'm having a hard time getting my trailer in here in between the lines. And I asked one of the guys, that was the answer I got. So there you have it. Water clarity, kind of disappointing, but I think it's related mostly to the wind that we've had. We've had some really rough days. There's the best I saw the other day was maybe 1.5 feet. Some areas even less than that. The algae is, at least the portions of the lake that I have been in, pretty much under control. There was a little bit of a really light algae bloom in a couple of areas, but I mean, it was really slight. Water temperature was the thing that changed the most. Yesterday, the warmest I saw it before I got off the water was 64 degrees. So it was between 63 and 64. That's at least a full 5 degrees, if not 5 to 7 degrees lower than it was the week before. So that's been a pretty significant change. Let's see. Okay, I think covered all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. Activities this coming weekend, nothing. There was a tournament scheduled, but it's been moved. So now the last 2 weekends of the month, we have 2 multi-day events. New Gen Pro-Am Fish Off is the weekend after this one, and then an ABA Fish Off the weekend after that. So the last 2 weekends of the month is going to be busy. So that takes care of activities. Now, what else? Fishing. I'm going to give you the short version. I really struggled the last 2 or 3 times that I was out. We caught fish, but we didn't catch that many. For those of you who have asked or have been interested about the live bait bite, I even tried that, and that wasn't the answer either. Our fish were extremely scattered. There was one here, one there. We caught 2 feet of water and 16 feet of water, and it kind of in between. So I think wherever, what I see a lot of guys do it, first of all, there's not many guys out, but the ones that I have seen, they're pretty much running the bank and just chasing down fish that are up, chasing silver sides. I still haven't seen any sign of any quantity of threadfin shad. It's all been about silver sides. So you can get into an area and you'll see a lot of them, and then you get into another area and you won't see any of them. So that's pretty much my fishing report for what it's worth. The other thing that I wanted to cover with y'all is I posted this on our Facebook page, but this Friday will be my last trip of the year. So I'm closing off my books until February 15th, I think it is, next year. I'm just not going to fight this anymore. I don't want to take the chance on having a bad experience at the launch ramp. Nothing's going on up here. The bite's not that great. I mean, there's a few people who, have had some really good days. They made the right stop at the right time. I'm not experiencing that, so I really don't know what I'm going to do this winter. Probably some more trips to Berryessa. I'm obviously not going to quit fishing, but the wife retires in a couple of weeks, and that frees us up. So basically from the 1st of November all the way through the middle of February, my booking calendar is closed off. I'll be available from mid-February through about mid-June. So already have some people who have booked trips in March and April, and I appreciate that. Thank you for it. Before you jump in and really look at booking a trip, if you're interested in April, make sure you get in touch with me so I can let you know. There's a couple of weeks that are definitely weeks that you should avoid because of major tournament activity up here. I don't want to guide during those times because I don't want to compete with 250 boats and try to put on a good fishing day for a client. So I think that's going to be it for today. If you have any questions, go ahead and fire them off to me. I really don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to do my darndest to keep giving you a report every week. It may be more about the just the lake conditions and a lot less about the fishing report, but I'm going to do my best to keep it going through the winter. So we'll see you next time for sure. Good luck. Pray for some rain, lots of it, because it's going to take more than a normal year.